Yo, what's going on, you pencil pushers? Nick Daniels here. I love that intro, by the way, too. I had somebody comment that recently. They're like, hey, man, you didn't call me a pencil pusher. It didn't sound right. My apologies. I'll beg for forgiveness. That will play a role in this video. You're going to realize when I talk about this line. Dating Playbook, man. Chapter 6. This is technically not the last chapter, but we're going to call it the last chapter because 7 is a recap of everything, which is called Mastery. Mastery is just literally... reiterates everything you've already read. So we're not really going to talk about 7. We're going to talk about 6 though. So as usual, we got some notes. We wrote some things down. We're going to talk about those. What was this one? Basically, it was like relationships, not like quote for quote there, but or word for word. But relationships is what this one was focusing on. So I got some interesting notes on this one. There was several things that I thought were hilarious. And that I would like to talk about. So we're going to recap those, and then at the end of the video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to address what's coming next. So there'll be another series coming, which definitely relates to this. And I'm thinking, I don't really get enough viewers for this shit, but I think it'd be kind of funny. I normally don't beg for comments. I think you're kind of a faggot if you do that. Mainly for likes. If you're like, please like the video, fuck off. But I'm going to give you 3 options, and that's the one, and I want somebody to comment and say, this is the one we want next. If not, I'm just going to do whatever one I want. So it doesn't matter, honestly, but anyway. Yeah, man, so here we go. So the first thing, a little bit of this is reiterating, so we're going to be quick on those points. And I'm just picking the highlights of what I read. So one of the biggest things, like one of the first things actually, in this chapter is Buddy basically just says, like, you need happy people around you. It's whatever. Like, everybody knows that. So you just need positive people around you. If they're not that, like, just get them the fuck out of there. Like, get rid of them. I did a lot of that when I first moved up into Halifax. I discarded, like, everybody. It's like, I ain't got time for that. I still, like, obviously I talk to a few of them. And I hang out with a couple of them, you know, the ones that are good. So like 3, you know, and the rest of them, I just said, fuck them, you know. It doesn't matter, man. And I think I don't look at that like, okay, someone wasn't happy, I got rid of them. It was just like, no, like they weren't doing anything for me. You know, yeah, okay, like somebody I just kind of knew and stuff. But a lot of the times too, like, why I do shit like that. Sorry, we just got a car coming, so we're gonna do it this way for a minute. It's just like I said, if I don't really fucking know the guy, I don't hang out with him. You know, why would I bother? Like, I just don't see the point. Yeah, there's like a lot of people, like, you know, you'd have on Facebook or some shit. This is the, you know, and you just never hang out with. You're like, oh, that guy I talked to a bar once, you know, like fucking 3 years ago or something. Like, you know, it's retarded. And you know, or people that would hang out with me, and then now they just make excuses, right? Yeah, when they kind of do that, I'm like, you know what? I'll let them come to me, right? So that's how I related to that point in the Dating Playbook, because I was kind of like, well, you know, I'm pretty good at that, I find. And by discarding, I mean, I discarded like everybody. So, I mean, like, I'm actually I'm pretty cool with that. So a couple of things, like, you want to kind of take care of, apparently, being in this relationship, is you want to make sure, like, you got a good career, you're fucking happy, like, your health's decent. I'm fucked. I've got unknown medical issues for like the last 7 years, so we're boned. What else we got here? Social life. I've got 2 friends. Oh, yeah. I guess I have a bunch of acquaintances in the HRM. I have 2 actual people I hang out with. Sorry, there's just somebody again, like, right fucking there. There's people everywhere, man. It's a bad day to do this. Yeah, so the social life's a little bit of a struggle, but we're working on it. Not nowadays, though. Fucking Halifax is locked down. Like, whatever, I know. Still couples and families everywhere I'm going, so clearly nobody really cares. Hobbies, yeah, you know, and that's a big one too. Like, I think hobbies is huge. Basically, later on in the chapter, Buddy reiterates about that a little bit. And he's basically like, you kind of have to have your own things, right? And you can't just hang out with a woman and that be like your only entertainment. Like, you kind of have to have your own time. You know, I don't think that's necessarily like he's kind of quoting it more again as the grounded man. I don't believe that. I think it's more like you actually have to get some away time from somebody. You know, if you hang around someone 24/7, I'd want to just strangle them to death. You know, and I think that's it. I think it's healthy to say, okay, cool, like I'm gonna go out Saturday afternoon and I'm gonna hang out by myself and I'm gonna go do my own thing, or with the boys. And that's it. Like, you keep those two entities different, right? There's a relationship entity and then there's that entity. And I think that's extremely healthy. Yeah, I don't know. And that's the way it needs to be. Yeah, no, you need to keep those two entities a little bit different. You know, you can't have them one and the same. Never works out. Keep in mind, by the way, I've never actually been in a relationship, so I can't give you much advice here. The next one was family. I haven't talked to mine in about 9 years. So I think it's been about that. Yeah, it's been about 9 years. So, I mean, realistically speaking, yeah, I'd be fucked. It's funny, too. The one with the matchmaker, I remember in the girl's profile, she was really all about that. She was like, you know, family's a big thing. And I'm just like, well, can't help you. We're not getting very far there. Yeah, so a couple funny things that stood out too was like, it was like reasons to not get in a relationship. Man, these are just fucking depressing. Like, lack of opportunity was one of them. Like, I mean, there's game. You know, you gotta go out and fucking hunt, man. And I guess I should be telling that to myself. But yeah, lack of opportunity, scared to approach. Oh, that's interesting though, because like if you were scared to approach per se, like you wouldn't even have the opportunity to have that relationship. Man, that guy just fucking bikes down there, and he just turned around randomly. Like, okay. Yeah, like social pressure. I really want to talk about that one, but we're gonna come up to the fucking climax of a trail, and we can't really be recording there because there's just fucking retards everywhere. Or sorry, I shouldn't actually call people retarded. I just say their actions are retarded. There's just a lot of people. So we're gonna do a quick part 2, and that's where we're gonna start. All right, we're doing part 2. Sorry, we're technically in like a lockdown, so I don't understand because there's a bunch of people bringing their cars here and then going out walking and biking and whatever, right? Like couples and whatever. But like, I thought we weren't supposed to drive anywhere. I thought it was like, you basically, if you have to drive somewhere, you're not supposed to fucking go there. And there's like tons of cars like rolling up. I don't understand. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, I think that was probably the most interesting point of the chapter, was the social pressure. I really like that line, because it means a lot. There's a lot of that going on. So basically, here's my understanding and my point of that. This could be its own video, to be quite honest, and I've probably talked about this already in the past. Social pressure is huge. There's a lot of things in society that I think are a little bit carved out, and that men and women kind of have to adhere by, without even knowing it. Like, it's like almost like it's unconscious, right? And this is one of them. This is one of the many things, right? It's like the reason why, you know, women got to doll up and put makeup on and look all cute to be attractive, you know, and like the ideal guy, you know, it's stuff like that, right? It's the same idea. So generally, people, I wouldn't say people are looked down on too. That would, like, look down upon. That'd be a bit strong. But definitely people, you know, you definitely get looked at a little bit differently being single. And it's supposed to be made, yeah, you're almost supposed to be made to be like, I don't know, I wouldn't say lesser. Sorry, we got like 4 people showing up here. We're gonna have to go in incognito here. Oh yeah, tons of them. 1 second here, folks. Yeah, we got a bunch of people. 2 there, another guy coming, 2 more coming. Fucking crazy. Yeah, my apologies. It just looks weird if I'm mumbling to myself, I guess, but we'll figure it out. Okay, we got rid of everybody. Man, there's another fucking person driving here too, like pulling up down there. It's like, it kind of annoys me. Because like, we're not supposed to go and do anything. Uh-oh, it's getting a little bright here, eh? The pocket, I'll tell you, when you're in the middle of a video, like a auto record, like if it's on like an audio an auto exposure, it don't like it. It don't like if the sun's coming out. So hopefully this will be okay. Anyway, now we're back in the spot where the four-wheelers were last video fucking riding me down. So I can finally relax. Get away from all these fucking people. Yeah, so that's the thing in society, man. I totally find that. And it's also, in the chapter, he also kind of talks a little bit about also like the fact of like most of your friends would be in relationships. And that's kind of one of those impulses to be like, well, what, I could be in a relationship too. And I totally have got that. I've been single my entire life. And I would say almost every single one of my friends is in a relationship. Well, like people I actually like talk to, yeah, they all are. Like I'm always like pretty much the only single guy ever at the table, you know. And it's really frustrating because like I like hanging out with single people way more than couples, you know. And I find it funny, like there was another reason not to get in a relationship too, and it was like basically being like lonely, right? Oh my God, look at the brightness. Jesus Christ, we're gonna roll with it. But yeah, so it was basically like, don't get in a relationship if you're lonely. Don't do that. Like, don't do it for this. But I do get fucking lonely, man. Like you hang out with people that are all in relationships, you know, and you can see them like kind of touching each other a little bit. It don't make you feel great. Like, I'm just saying. Like whoever thought this up was like, oh yeah, like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna go hang out with like a group of couples, you know, be like the 6th or 7th wheel and just be absolutely ecstatic that I'm there. No, not really. Like, it's annoying. It's nice to have another single person just to know you're not the only person, like, you know, because, and I think that's it, man. I think society, like, I wouldn't necessarily say they look down on people who were single, but it's definitely like people believe you're not happy if you are single, right? Like you can't be happy being single. Look at Wonder Woman. I mean, she was supposed to be an independent woman, and then in the movie, they just fucking butchered her. She's like, oh, I need, whatever his name was. I was gonna say Steve. Is it Steve? I don't know. So I like that one. I thought that was really interesting, and it really relates to where I'm at. Because again, most of the people I know are in relationships. So there's almost a lot of peer pressure there. It's not necessarily them saying it, it's that you're hanging out with them, and you're like, fuck, like, you know, I see how this is. Yeah, and he also says it's better to have high standards and be single rather than low standards and like be in a shitty relationship, because apparently like you just waste the other person's time. It's even like talking about like the preemptive breakup. You know what I mean? Like if you're just like, oh, you know, you're not really feeling it, like just get out of there, you know? And I was like, you know what though? I can kind of respect that. Like if you're in a relationship and you're not feeling it. But it's interesting because he's like, but you could be, you know, rocking it with somebody else, you know, having a great time, and you're just wasting time. But like, you know, also like, I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think you could have a relationship and get experience from it. Somebody like myself who's never had a relationship might find somebody who I'm like super compatible with, but I just don't have the basics of the relationship. But if I actually had some shitty relationship, you know, maybe I'd get that experience, right? You don't go into Skyrim and you're just, you know, you don't have Blade of 100, you know, or one-handed, right? You got to swing the fucking sword a few times, you know? Usually you just go to the Greybeards, by the way, put legendary difficulty on, then you just crouch and sneak attack. The more damage it does, the more you level up. Keep that in mind. Warrior Stone 2, 20%. Sleep. Well-rested bonus. Don't be a werewolf, though. You lose that. Yeah. So, a couple of things he said not to do. I thought this was fucking hilarious. I had to write this down. Fast food, drinking soda, and smoking. What? Are you telling me I can't go have a junior chicken once in a while? Like, I can't go drink a pop? Like, I think that's hilarious, because he was like, you know, it's like, well, they all lead you to more of an early grave. Like, really? Drinking soda? Like, you know, once every, like, 2 weeks? I don't think, like, I could go do some crystal meth. I think, you know, I think soda's pretty good. You know, one's $1 and not going to kill me, and one's, well, you know, anyway. That was a bit weird. He's like, there was one line there, I just wrote it down, like, out of context. But basically, he's like, if you don't have any friends, what does it say about you? I haven't met anybody. I'm a really social person, As you may know from watching my videos, I find anyway, I'm a very social individual. I'm very outgoing. I like hanging out with people, you know, but I'm also an introvert. I like hanging out by myself. I like just fucking off and, yeah, making puppies, right? Hanging out by myself. I have nothing wrong with either or, right? And there's another vehicle coming. I don't understand these people. You know. It's one thing when you can walk out here by yourself and not have to drive a car out here, and then it's another thing when everybody rolls up in their trucks and their you know, in their SUVs, and they're like, I'm gonna go for a bike ride today. Really annoying. But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting because like it's the same idea of like I remember he had made something, or there was a one in the other chapter that was basically like shitting on you if you didn't have like a social media presence, and I think that's ridiculous. You don't need a social media presence to get a girlfriend. Like that's not true. Yeah, this one really pissed me off. I didn't like this, okay? And I'm gonna explain why. There's a little story here. So if you're in the relationship, you make a mistake, he said basically to like, you know, to accept that, like to say so, like, fuck, like I fucked up, right? Okay, like I understood that. And to ask for forgiveness, okay? Now, if you don't see what's wrong with that, I'm going to give you a second, okay? No, I'm not. We're just jumping right into it. Fuck that. That's retarded. Like, this book is supposed to teach you something about dating and confidence and relationships. And one of the main things they teach you is something that he calls the grounded man, right? And it doesn't literally mean like stand your ground and argue. But I mean, if you fuck up, you don't need to ask for... Sorry, we're going quieter because we're walking now through a subdivision. Yeah, you don't need to like beg for forgiveness. It just sounds stupid, right? Because he often quotes, and he's or writes there, to not put women on this like pedestal. Like, don't put them above other things, right? Like, if you have a hobby, she's not like more important than that hobby, for example, right? I'm not saying like treat her like shit either. Oh, I think I just lost my notes. Uh-oh. Never mind, I didn't. Okay, good. We got families coming anyway. On my 6. Yeah, so like I didn't understand that line. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like it just sounds like you're weak and feebleish, you know? Weak and feeble. Like if you make a mistake, yeah, like own up to it. It's common sense. But like don't sit there and like be a fucking baby, you know? And like just the way that was worded, I think it's what it comes off as. I mean, I think if you like really effed up in a relationship, you want to be like, oh babe, listen, you know, can you forgive me? I mean, yeah, okay. Like if you forgot to take the kids to like baseball practice or something, I don't know. But I mean, it just like I just don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you be in a relationship, like make a mistake, whatever that might be, and then like get on your hands and knees and like start fucking begging? It just sounds mentally retarded. Like, doesn't make any sense. Sorry, person there, 1 sec. Yep. Alright, sorry about that. More people. More couples out. Yeah, so I guess that kind of sums it up. The dating playbook, man, I don't know. I think what I really took away from it was the shit about the grounded man. I actually like that. Yeah, I didn't find that part too bad. The grounded man I found actually like kind of helped. And it opened my eyes a little bit to what I was kind of already thinking, but it just made sure I was aware of it, about like the whole neediness thing. And you know, and it's an interesting thing. I think chapter 5 was bull. Or was it 4? I don't know. Chapter 5, chapter 4, it was the one where he's like saying you need to go out all the time, you know. like fucking like 4 times a week or something stupid. You know, like basically not looking for a relationship, which I think is also dumb. Like, I don't think love is just going to happily find me. It hasn't in 28 years. It's not going to do it tomorrow. You know, I need to put effort in. It's like a job, man. Like, they don't just call you on Indeed all the time. You have to actually apply to places, you know, and hope to God you get it, right? Like, I think it's the same idea. I don't know. So the book was interesting overall. So he's got a follow-up. All right. That's where we're coming from. So there's going to be something. If you want to comment, knock yourselves out. If you don't, I'm just going to do them anyway. But, like, you can just pick the order, I guess, if you want them. Knock yourselves out. So the porn pandemic. I know, it sounds retarded. But apparently people get addicted to porn. I thought it'd be funny to talk about. So the porn pandemic would be one of them. The same thing by this guy. Okay. But it's texting. So I forget exactly the name of it, but it's like basically texting for men. And apparently he shows like actual like text messages and examples, which I think is hilarious. I haven't really read it, so like we're gonna go on completely blind. And what was the last one here? Fucking hell. Oh yeah, and how to get confidence in like 30 minutes. Sorry, we got a person. Yeah, the last one, I don't know. The 3 C's would apply. Cool, calm, and collected. I think that's what it is. I don't fucking know. How you doing? Yeah, sorry, we're walking like right by someone here. This is awkward. It's weird. But anyway, yeah, man. Dating Playbook for men. Fucking hilarious. Because I was supposed to read this for the matchmaker, and I haven't heard anything back from her. So I was like, am I supposed to report? Like, am I supposed to say like, hey, by the way, I read this thing, or like, what do I do? But it's funny because the views in this video, or this little series did quite well. You know, they're getting half decent views on some of them. So what I might do is I might go read a few more of these random books, you know, like the dating books. I think they're kind of funny. Because, you know, there's only so much you can talk about with online dating, right? But I think it's kind of funny because, like, where I've been technically, like, dating for my entire life, I think it'd be kind of cool. See what some of these other books say and what they have to offer. So let me know. I'm sorry this video went kind of longer, but, you know, it's kind of the climax of the whole thing. And hopefully I smarten up and I edit out anything, because there were several bits where I just really couldn't film. Yeah, and it's just really awkward when you got somebody like right beside you, like walking, and you're trying to talk to yourself on a camera. It just looks weird. When I do it on the street, like, you can do it like this and it's really not that big of a deal. Like, nobody really looks because they don't care. But as soon as they see the camera like sticking out like that, it's just, yeah, it just looks mental. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm almost kind of sad to see the dating playbook go. But like I said, he's got more work, and we're going to make more videos on that regardless. But that will be coming. That'll be coming very soon. I think we'll keep doing stuff like that, like little mini series and things, because I think they're very funny and you know, they're different, and it's quoting material rather than just me rambling off, and then just, yeah, like I can give my own fucking personal experiences with it. I technically promised you guys a story. I never gave it, but basically in like one line I can do it. But basically I had a girl tell me she wasn't interested in me because I was too nice, and that's where I thought of like the forgiveness thing. I was like, well, if you're fucking begging for forgiveness, well, you're too nice. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.